So what was the reason that you clicked on this video? Is it because you want to lose weight? Or is it because you want to be healthy? Was it out of proactive actions? I see myself and I feel like I can do better? Or was it because your doctor told you that you have something and now I'm afraid and I'm trying to get away from some kind of metabolic condition? The reason that you clicked on this video, the reason that you're looking up health/weight loss information matters because it directs what you're about to do. Hello, Wellness Warriors. Welcome to Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. I'm Violet. The reason that I make these videos is because I want you to understand that your mental health and physical health working well together is what creates that overall sense of well-being. If this is something that you're working on, subscribe because I make new videos every week. Regardless of the reason that you clicked on this video, there's a few things I want you to think about in making your decision going forward. The first thing being, if you clicked on this video because you want to lose weight, understand that losing weight and being healthy go hand in hand. And what that means is you actually need to be healthy in order to lose weight. If I'm not healthy, as much as I might want to lose weight, my body is going to fight me on losing weight if there are more important metabolic, more important health things internally that need to be going on. My body's not going to care that I want to lose weight. Your body, your brain, your mind, your entirety is focused on you being alive in the healthiest possible fashion. And you being alive with extra weight on you is more important than you not being alive. Okay, so the next question. What will you do the next time that it's time for you to choose a meal? How are you choosing that meal? For those of us living a healthy ketogenic lifestyle, you know what I'm aiming at here. For everybody else, I want to explain. We know that eating more than 20 grams of carbs in a day is toxic to our body because our body can only manage to have 5 grams of carbs at any one particular moment in time. And doctors have figured out that we can use, clean up, and put away about 20 grams of carbs in a day and still remain healthy. So when I'm choosing my next meal, am I doing the things that help me to know that I'm eating less than 20 grams of carbs a day? Okay, which would mean I would have to actually A, be checking my labels, B, be choosing low glycemic vegetables. Probably would mean that I'm putting down all processed foods because most processed foods are high in carbohydrate. That I'm choosing healthy meats that have the fat that will be required for my body as energy since I'm no longer seeking carbohydrates as energy. And I would need to be willing to weigh and measure the foods that I am eating to make sure that I don't go over my 20-gram carb count. That was the first question. It was pretty hard, pretty difficult. The next time you're choosing a meal, are you going to choose healthy food or are you going to choose processed foods? These decisions that we make about what we're going to eat so matter because whatever I decide to eat determines what my body is dealing with today. And what my body is dealing with today determines how my body is able to keep me running properly, functioning properly. So let's look at that for a second. If I eat processed foods, which not only have high carb count, often they have a lot of chemicals that we really wouldn't be eating if we were eating a healthy whole foods meal. If I allow myself to eat processed foods, I'm putting my body in the position that rather than building an appropriate violet, rather than using that energy for fuel, what it's doing is it's trying to minimize the damage that is being done to my body. And now the question becomes, Wellness Warriors, is that what I want my body spending its time doing? Or would I rather my body taking its time to use the energy that I give it for fuel and then use the building blocks that I give it to build a healthier version of Violet than I had yesterday? I want everyone to understand something. The building blocks, so the protein that you're getting from a cookie, the protein that you're getting from a protein bar, the protein that you're getting from any type of processed food does not match the quality of protein that you're getting from meat, fish, eggs, cheese, any whole food. We need to think about that because every time you decide to eat processed foods, that's the building block you're giving your body to build today and tomorrow's version of you going into the future. It takes 7 years for your body to do a complete refresh. So for the next 7 years after you've eaten that cookie today, that's the protein source that your body is using. You clicked on this video because you wanted to learn about how to improve your health. And I want to point something out that's so important. I could go to university and study and get a bachelor's degree, and then a master's degree, and then a PhD. And then I can continue on in university and get a second and a third and a fourth master's PhD. I can have multiple degrees behind my name. If I never apply any of that information to the real world, to my life, it doesn't matter, right? It's great that I have the information, but it's not going to change anything for the rest of you if I don't actually apply it. If I don't get out there and use my mechanical engineering degree to do something for the world in mechanical engineering, it doesn't change anything. If I don't use my psychology degree to help you guys to understand how you're living your life, it doesn't change anything. Me having the information, that's terrific for me. There's a difference between having a piece of information and using it in the world to affect what you're doing. If you watch all the videos and read all the books and gather all the great information that there is about keto, but then still continue to eat 100, 200, 300 grams of carbs per day, knowing the information is not going to help your body. It's applying the information that helps your body. It's applying the information to the foods you choose. It's applying the information to the fats and the carbs that you allow into your body. It's understanding that carbohydrates in large amounts are toxic. It's understanding that fat is not the enemy, it's another energy source. It's understanding that protein is a building block that we need, and getting it in reasonable quantities helps our body to maintain itself. If I don't use the information that I learn, my body will not benefit. So let's look at Violet for a second. When I started this process, I was trying to solve a hip issue. And I did solve my hip issue. Feels terrific. I no longer have pain. But along the way, I learned that I have a problem with nightshades. So what would have happened if I would have ignored that information? Well, in actuality, every time that I eat nightshades, physically, my joints don't feel so great. And it's not about sugar, right? Because I could eat an amount of nightshades that still falls into that low level where my sugar is not over, and still I feel it. So what happens? Do I ignore the fact that I have a problem with nightshades? Or do I stop eating nightshades because my body is not reacting well? Guess what I did? I stopped eating nightshades because I have the information. I see it clearly in front of me, whether it's a tomato, a potato, a pepper. When I eat them, I feel it the next day. Now, can I completely eliminate them? Well, no. If I go out to eat, there's a possibility a nightshade might be in there, and I might get some. And if I take a calculated decision to eat some, am I knowing I'm going to be suffering tomorrow? Yeah, so I don't do that very often. But the thing is that I need to use the information that I have. Are you using the information that you have? Or are you doing all this keto research and then going, oh, but today's my birthday, or oh, but I got invited out to dinner, or oh, but I didn't have time to make supper today. Are you using the information you have, or are you allowing yourself to walk around it and not getting the benefits of the information that you have? Wellness warriors, this is your opportunity to change your life. Are you going to eat appropriately? Are you going to use the information that you've learned on my channel and so many other channels that teach you that eating 20 grams of carbs or less every day, eating healthy fats, and eating appropriate protein equals a healthy body? Are you going to use that information to build a better quality body that's at an appropriate weight? Or are you going to continue to ignore that information, living sick and overweight and unhappy? I'm encouraging every single one of you to reset yourself and move forward doing better. There are some videos on the screen right there that are going to help you to improve your health. There are links in the description if you'd like to support the channel. I want to thank all my wellness warriors for coming by. As usual, new people always welcome. I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. I can't wait to talk to you guys again next week.